Morning all. Happy Wednesday morning. Hope you all had a good time on the live chat last night. Obviously, as usual, you guys had me running like crazy, but that's always a lot of fun. So thank you everybody for showing up. I always have a good time doing those, whether it was talking to Andy talking to Jason over at Angry Prepper, or doing these live streams or anything of the sort. You know, getting the conversations out are always a lot of fun, and spreading valuable information is certainly something that I want to do. Put a comment up on yesterday's video real quick. It seems we're getting our fair share of trolls around here, and just wanted to put this in video format as well. I'm all for people of opposing viewpoints. I will never profess to knowing everything, okay? If you disagree with me, that's fine, okay? If you want to say something in the comments about it, that's absolutely fine. As long as you're respectful, as long as you're not calling me names, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I don't want to hear the, I'm an SS soldier, or, all the other lovely fascist, great names they love to put out there. If you say something respectfully, great. Expect me to debate it. I will give you my point of view as well. But the one thing I absolutely will not tolerate is somebody coming on and spreading lies. Okay, if you want to come on and state your opinion, state something there, that's wonderful. But if you start throwing complete fabricated crap out there, not only am I deleting your comment, you're booted from the channel. Okay, so I'm just putting that out there because I had a couple yesterday that thought this was their platform to spread misinformation. And as I said yesterday, if you want to spread lies, go subscribe to CNN. Okay, you can get all the lies you want there. You want to spread lies in video format, create your own channel. Okay, this one's mine. All right, and guess who controls this one? Me, not you. Okay, so that being said, little piece of news, like I said, getting the word out. Okay, actually yesterday I did a interview with another YouTube site called Tradcat Night. They're the #1 Catholic channel and a top 15 Christian channel according to FeedSpot. And the folks over there had found me somehow and wanted to talk with me about some of the conversations we have here. So that was nice to hear. If any of you guys were involved in getting them to talk to me, thank you very much. I never heard of them, looked them up, and very interesting place to be found by. So obviously, our word is getting out a little bit from over here. So again, just wanted to say thank you to everybody for that, and kind of let you know that's going on. So it was kind of exciting for me. Somebody actually thought what I said was worthwhile, besides all you guys. So that was cool. All right. So today what I want to talk about is maybe not so much prepper related, but with everything going on with COVID right now, and this, we'll use the term treatment. I think you all know what I'm talking about here, okay? But I don't want to get booted instantly. I went out and did some research for myself, and after I found out a little bit about this, I wanted to share it all to you, because there's, obviously a vast disparity between, I guess it's about 50% of the country is like, oh my God, as soon as they get the treatment out, stick it in my arm. And the other 50% is saying, hell no, stay away from me. Okay. As Prepper Nation said, nah, I'm good. Okay. So I'm going to kind of go into this. Please stay all the way to the end, because that's when it kind of makes sense. And that's what I really need you to hear, but I kind of have to give you the whole details of all the other research first. Okay. So by now we've all heard of Pfizer's treatment for COVID, okay? And like I said, let's just leave it at the word treatment, okay? But what do we really know about the science behind this? Okay, most of us have all made up our mind whether we're going to take it or not. Now, disclaimer, By no means am I a microbiologist, a molecular biologist, or anything even remotely close, okay? So my apologies to any doctors or nurses or medical professionals or scientists that are watching this, okay? If I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong, okay? But this is all information that I was able to glean from a source I have, and I thought it was important enough to share, okay? Again, I'm not giving anybody medical advice. I'm just relaying freely available information. Pfizer's treatment for COVID is actually revolutionary. It's done using mRNA rather than the typical way of creating a treatment, okay? Traditionally, a treatment is created by taking a virus or a bacteria and weakening it so much so it can't reproduce or replicate, okay? Or at least reproduce or replicate well enough so it can't weakening it enough so it can't replicate at all, okay? So for example, when we were kids, we were all given the MMR treatment, okay? Measles, mumps, and rubella, all right? We were exposed to just a tiny bit of the virus or the bacteria that enabled us to develop immunity, but it wasn't enough to make us sick. That's not how the COVID treatment is being done, okay? For COVID, Pfizer used messenger RNA, the mRNA, instead. mRNA is a single-stranded RNA molecule that's complementary to one of the DNA strands of the gene, okay? It's an RNA version of the gene that leaves the cell nucleus and moves to the cytoplasm where the proteins are made, okay? Too technical for you? Yeah, me too, okay. So this is what I got in layman's terms, all right? Instead of a weakened virus, laboratories created a piece of the RNA, the genetic code for instructions in making proteins, and inject that into the human body. Think of it like a ruler. Okay, we all know a ruler is 12 inches long. Instead of them taking the whole ruler, they only use, hypothetically, say, the section of the ruler that's from where it's marked 3 inches to where it's marked 7 inches. Okay. If they would have entered the entire RNA code of the coronavirus into this treatment, okay, then it would have started actively to create copies of it. But the mRNA doesn't use the entire code, only a little bit of part of it, like in my ruler analogy, okay? The part they're using only includes the instructions for creating the suckers in which the coronavirus attaches to your cells, okay? When such an instruction written on messenger RNA enters the body, our cells begin to actively create the suckers of the real coronavirus, but by themselves, the suckers are completely harmless, okay? So that's the good news. They aren't infecting us with COVID, even in small doses like a traditional treatment would, okay? Now that a foreign protein, those suckers, appears in a body, it's noticed by our immune system, and we start creating the same antibodies as when using a traditional treatment. So far, so good. Now, if the real coronavirus enters your body, if you actually do catch it, okay, it would not be able to attach its suckers to the cells in your body to transfer that RNA, since its suckers are already blacklisted by our immune system, and our immune system would destroy any of the suckers. And hence, that's how the Pfizer treatment works. All good, right? Not so fast. Okay. This is where it gets scary. Theoretically, it's possible to change DNA with the help of an mRNA treatment. To do this, it's necessary to make sure that the messenger RNA contains instructions for protein synthesis called reverse transcription. When the ribosome makes this protein, it's able to start a process called reverse transcription. Yeah, I know, too technical again, right? Okay, so here's the nitty-gritty. There is nothing that prevents them, okay, from entering RNA instructions for the manufacture of any proteins in our body. If the powers that be so desire, such RNA could change any function of the body, from reproductive to mental. Now, I absolutely don't think that Pfizer's out to do something as nefarious as that, okay? But the medical technology is out there, all right? And then here's the theoretical kick in the teeth, all right? Potentially, mRNA treatments also have a real side effect. This is the one thing nobody's telling you about, okay? In some people, they can cause an autoimmune reaction, all right? This is where the immune system sometimes malfunctions, interpreting the body's own tissue as foreign and producing antibodies or immune cells that target and attack those particular tissues or cells in the body, okay? Your whole body is made of cells and tissues, okay? Now, there are 7 different autoimmune disorders: rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, inflammatory bowel disease, multiple sclerosis, type 1 diabetes, Guillain-Barré syndrome, and psoriasis. So here's the thing we're not being told by the media or the government about this miracle treatment, okay? There could be a side effect. Therein lies the question we should all be asking our doctors before getting stuck in the arm, okay? Tell me about my risks for the side effects. Personally, I'm not willing to risk getting MS or diabetes for the sake of being treated for COVID, which I don't even have in the first place, okay? Now I'm going to say again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not any sort of medical professional, okay? I can take 2 aspirin. That's about the extent of my medical knowledge, okay? I'm not telling anyone to get or to not get any treatment if and when it becomes available. All I want you to do is ask a question or 2 of a real medical professional before you wind up doing something that you may regret later. Pinball out.